It's rivalry week in college football, and for Texas A&M, that means hitting the road to face the undefeated LSU Tigers. I'm Leah Musgrave, and this is Setting the Scene, brought to you by The Warehouse at CC Creations. Shop the largest Aggie store in the world with over 20,000 square feet of Aggie merchandise. Visit The Warehouse at CC Creations at 114 Holloman Drive or 24/7 online at thewarehouse@cc.com. Last weekend, Texas A&M traveled to Athens, Georgia, where despite a strong second-half showing, the Aggies couldn't get over the hump and are still anxiously awaiting their first win over a ranked opponent. While Jimbo Fisher says there are no moral victories, he left feeling encouraged about how his team competed and is now focused on preparation for arguably his toughest challenge of the year.
Georgia's a good football team, but I think we are too, and I think we're making a lot of strides. I think we're getting there, but we got to, there's no moral victories. We got to get over the hump and find a way to make that one more play. We got to put this one behind us really quickly and move on and get ready to play a tremendous LSU team on the road.
Last year's 7-overtime 74-72 thriller at Kyle Field will go down in Texas A&M history as one of the greatest games of all time. But while Aggies haven't forgotten about the win that sent shockwaves throughout the entire nation, neither have the LSU Tigers, and this year they're coming back with a vengeance. With the SEC championship against Georgia on the horizon and the college football playoff not far behind, everything is on the line for this dynamic team, and head coach Ed Orgeron is sporting a chip on his shoulder like never before.
Like I said after the game, we felt helpless. They gave everything they had. I don't know how many hours we played for, and we just felt helpless. And we just felt that when our time comes, we're going to do something about it, and now's the time.
This weekend, Texas A&M has its final opportunity to do the unthinkable and beat one of the nation's top-ranked teams on the road in Baton Rouge. So the question remains, can Texas A&M build on what they showed in last week's game and compete toe-to-toe with the most explosive offense in the country? Quarterback Joe Burrow leads the Tigers' offense that ranks in the nation's top 5 in almost every statistical category, and the team currently has one of the strongest resumes in college football. Over the last 11 weeks, the team has totaled 68 offensive touchdowns, has averaged 47 points per game, and earned 4 wins over top 10 opponents. On top of that, LSU recently became the first team in SEC history to have a 4,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, and 2,000-yard receivers all in the same season.
Burrow's a heck of a player. He's playing as good as any quarterback in a long time. I mean, 78% completion percentage, man, that's amazing. They're good all the way across the board, and they're playing as good as anybody in America. So, going down there, it'll be a tough environment.
From the recruiting front to game day, it seems like this SEC rivalry has gotten stronger and stronger every year. And as LSU's former offensive coordinator, Jimbo Fisher is more than familiar with both schools. Fisher said earlier in the week that his team is preparing for this game just like any other. But regardless, he's excited to get back to his old stomping grounds and play an opponent that parallels A&M in many ways.
I think it's very much like here, there's such a passion. The people there genuinely love LSU. I mean, there's a love in that state, for LSU. And they have true passion for what they do. And they have passion for their state, their university. A lot of those kids are homegrown kids, so they have it there. They want to win. It's the environment, the atmosphere, and football is important there. And it's one of the great venues in college football, and we're fortunate enough to be able to go play in it. It's genuine.
Despite the Aggies' thrilling victory last year at Kyle Field, the Tigers still lead the all-time series 33-20-3. The 57th edition of the rivalry kicks off this Saturday at 6:00 p.m. after the sun sets in the western sky in Death Valley. Reporting for TexAgs.com, I'm Leah Musgrave.
Hey, I'm Coach O. I just love my Hummer.